Oops. Hush you. Hush you. Let's see if I can get my stuff working here. Let's just do this for now. Boop. What's up? I don't know if anybody's looking at the stream yet. That's fine. Good enough. Okay, looks like YouTube's up. Make sure I can hear myself. Okay, looks like it's good. So I'm just going to chill, and yeah, if anybody pops in, then I will engage with people, but yeah, there's no point in me talking right now because nobody's watching. Maybe, yeah, I mean, it can serve as record. So, today, normally what I do at this 7 p.m. slot, every Wednesday is I do a live improv set where I will just, hop between instruments and do a loop-based kind of creative, just a creative outlet. Through that process, just call this studio update, sure. It's also a personal update, but whatever. Get the gram working. Okay. Go. Okay. I think everything's good. Am I live on Twitch? Yep, looks good. Cool. Okay. I'm just going to assume that Instagram's working. Anyways, normally what I do in this time slot is I will do a loop-based project. That's how I've been writing music lately. That's how I've been performing music lately, as well as just a one-man band kind of thing, which is rad. It's been more productive in terms of like what I'm actually getting recorded and getting done. More creative, more explorative. It's been really awesome. I feel really grateful to have found a process that works for my brain and my style, which is really cool. The reason why I'm not doing it today is because kind of a lot of reasons. One is because I already have a lot of content at this point. I've created more than enough pieces of music that are high enough quality creatively, and then also, from a technical standpoint, they're like ready to go, ready to be cut, pasted, re-recorded, that kind of thing. For me to actually get an album done, which is ostensibly what I've been doing this whole time, I've got something like 25 pieces of music, and I think I want to make... I have a concept for the album. Obviously, if you've seen any of them, all the pieces are titled after different rocks. So I've got like a theme, but I was just thinking today, I have an album art in my head that would imply at least that it would have 9 tracks on the album. So I'm not like beholden to that, but I think that's where I want to go. So if I only need 9 pieces and I've got 25, and that's not even including like the dozens and dozens of random little things I have. Anyways, that's just the live stream stuff. I've done like 20 of those fucking things now. That's not accurate, not 20. Anyways, I don't need to be generating new material for the album in the same way, at least. What I need to do now, if I'm trying to get the album published, which is, yeah, what I'm trying to do, I've already taken the steps to like sort of outline the album, how I want it to go, and I've combined all the various recordings into like a master, um, not like a mixing master, but like a master project. So instead of the songs having their own project in Ableton, I've got them all combined with some notation to make like an outline of what I want it to look like, what I want it to sound like. So I'm going to have to shift gears, I think, at this point to a production mindset, which will still be very creative. I'm not interested in overproducing anything. It's not a skill of mine. Like I don't think it's going to get better the more time I spend producing it. So I'm just going to be like loose on the odd ideas of like tone and tightness, and I mean I'm going to make sure it sounds how I want it to sound, but I'm not expecting to knock anybody's socks off with the production value. You know, it's I think the strengths here are I think it's impressive just for one person to make something like that, so that's cool. I like that I do that. I like that other people do it too. It's something I admire. It's probably why I do it. So there's that, and then just the fact that like I don't know, that it was built in Improv is cool to me too. Yeah, so if I want to make an album out of that, I'm actually going to have to spend time with the tracks as they are. And the main thing that I'm thinking is I want to weave it together. I don't want any pauses in the album. Like it's all based on loop based stuff, so it makes sense that it just keeps playing, right? Like, so what I need is interstitial pieces between those tracks to provide some connective tissue. And I have ideas, but I haven't really begun implementing those yet. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what I can do. It's going to be some synth stuff. It's going to be some sampling probably too. Not like hip hop style sampling, more just like I'm interested in using nature sounds. I think the title of the album is going to be Earth. So it seemed like thematically appropriate, and it's all, all the titles are rocks. So just in keeping with the sort of natural world theme, which is interesting too, because I think of my stuff as a bit spacey and a bit psychedelic, which on one hand is often used in contrast to earthier concepts, but the fact is we are in space right now. That's where the Earth is. So, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a silly idea, but I get a kick out of it. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. Also, in terms of just like studio work, I put together a pedal board. I uploaded a picture of that today. I grew up with the advice from my dad. Not advice so much as just his opinion, I guess. It was like he didn't think that pedals were particularly helpful or useful or necessary. Like he just never got into that kind of thing. He had a bit of a what would you call, like kind of a pretentious purist attitude about it. Like, oh, if you can't. But he was just a guy who played acoustic guitar. You know what I mean? He's like, he's written songs and stuff for sure, and he's like not bad at it either. But when your dad tells you something when you're young, you can a lot of times just like assume that it's true. That's what we do. But yeah, once I found myself in a position where like I was playing enough guitar to become more more comfortable with the instrument than I've ever been, because I've mostly played drums and bass. But it didn't take very long at all. Once I like was like, oh, I can like play this electric guitar fairly well, I just started buying pedals like a motherfucker. Like I don't know, it's something like 12 now, and it's been really cool to learn how pedals work, like a little bit of the technical stuff, and more just the practical stuff of like how to arrange it in a way that's sonically optimal. is cool. Never had thought about that kind of thing before, and now I'm like working in that, and that's cool. I like learning new stuff, and I'm a tech guy. Even when I'm not a musician, I'm a tech guy. Um, so I've been enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm spending a bunch of money to make like a bunch of some really cool music, and I am unemployed. I mean, not unemployed. I have a couple gigs that I work, right? Like, get a little bit of money from this from Patreon subscribers, which also, wrong side, right, there we go, right there. Thank you, everybody who's been throwing me fives or sevens or however many dollars you've been putting to me on a monthly basis. It's huge, and I really want to get to the point where I can support myself with art, um, but also with teaching meditation. Um, I became a certified meditation instructor last year. It was a wild ride. It was a hell of a journey, as last year was for like everybody. Um, but I came out with something. I came out with something pretty tangible from that. Some direct training in mindfulness meditation. That yeah, I've got some students. And I've got some Patreon subscribers. So like it's happening. But not a sustainable way yet. So part of me is like pretty bummed out. That's kind of another reason why I wanted to do this video. I'm kind of bummed out that I'm not getting the support that I need in order to like sustain myself. Um, like I said, I'm spending a bunch of money in the studio, so like I could spend less and then like survive more without having to go back to work. But my right now that my thought is like I need to invest in this. I'm much more interested in having a quality project than having more time off. So as I've been building this album, I just it just continues to get better, and I continue to get better as a songwriter, as an improviser, as a just a performer too. And I'm like really happy. I'm really happy about it. I've never made music this good. Even if you don't like it, that's okay. I'm not saying everybody will, but I know how I feel about my music, and I've never made music this good. Um, though though I've had good projects for sure, and stuff that I miss, and people that I miss from those projects. But doing it as a solo artist is such an interesting thing, and intimidating, and you know, unsurprisingly, I guess, um, given enough time, working in that method or that mode, um, it's come together. It's really coming together. So I definitely continue to put more money into it because it's working. And this is what I've always wanted to do. Is like if I've told people many times for years, like to make a good album. I mean, fuck it. Like, what else? What else would I do? Like, I mean, anything, sure, but that's what I want to do. I just want to make a good record. I think it'd be amazing. I'd love it, and I am loving doing it. So yeah, I've dumped like a ton of money into electronics lately. I mean, like a lot. I don't know, $800, $900. I don't know. I haven't actually done the math, but every time I get something, I'm like, okay, I don't need anything else, and then like I'll work with what I have for a while and find another way to make it better, which just keeps draining my savings and the money that I'm getting from teaching and stuff. But it's what I want to do. I not being risky with my money. Like I'm good. I'm covered. But I time's running out. The clock is ticking. So yeah, I'm trying to accelerate in the money department a little bit. So I've been advertising more for the Patreon. I've been, hitting up friends and family even, which like I have mixed feelings about because on one hand it's like, yeah, I mean if I was working a regular job and like could afford $5 a month for a friend, I would, and I have. I have done that. Um, but it's hard as somebody who I don't know, my relationship with money and work is complicated. A lot of people's are. So it's kind of hard or kind of embarrassing to ask people for money. Like, hey, like I'm doing this thing. Do you want to support it? So it's not necessarily easy to ask, but I'm doing it, and some people are chipping in, which is awesome. I've had a couple new donors recently. I've got a new meditation student. But just to be clear, I'm draining money. So like if anybody could throw in $5, that'd be huge. So I can keep this up, Um, even if it buys me another month, you know what I mean? That's just one more chance for me to fucking make a breakthrough somewhere, for somebody to stumble across my stuff. Or once I have the album ready, I plan on doing like a full live concert for it, like in my studio live. Probably just me, but I could feature another artist, like for funsies or whatever. I don't know yet. Yeah, I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do, but that's why I had the projector. Is I'm gonna make a video or a movie, well, I guess however you want to think about it. I'm gonna make a film to project over, to project over myself basically. So that'll be a big project. It's gonna take some time, and I'm not historically a guy though, obviously. Stuff, and it's hard for. I don't like marketing myself. I just don't enjoy it. That's all it is. Like I can do it, it's fine. It's just frustrating. And I was talking to Drew Hall, a good friend of mine, someone else who is successfully, however, paying his way with art and has for years at this point, um, and has been super inspirational and supportive of me throughout my attempt to chase my dream, and try to bring some art into the world. And he was voicing some of his frustrations and saying that a lot of people feel the same way right now, that like, I mean, as an artist, it's always hard to get recognized. It's always hard to make a living. It doesn't have to be, but that is the way our current fucking financial economic systems work, is prioritizing, you know, bootlicking engineers. That's like what our country wants. That's what they're trying to create. That's what our education system, our justice system, our economic systems are trying to reinforce. So, meditating and making music are not particularly lucrative, because both of those things are counter to those aims. Not always counter. You can do both. It doesn't have to be adversarial. But it certainly feels like it, because the systems that we live in are toxic as fuck. Anyways, not going to get on a political high horse, just trying to provide some context for how I feel about, making the music and trying to get people to tune in to reach and practice. So there's a video, got a bunch of coming in. So next, also my pedal board's like halfway as I stuff this morning. Another reason why I stream to me. I've been playing a ton lately, which is awesome. But like, I'm actually kind of sore. Like I need some time to rest and stretch and stuff. Um, so yeah, I mean everything's going really well, and it's all headed toward the direction I want. It's just I don't have enough financial support right now. So like, it's been a little stressful just thinking about that kind of thing again and having to reconsider like, oh well, maybe I'll have to go get a regular like day job again. And I don't like spend a lot of time thinking about it, but it has been nagging at the back of my brain a little bit, like I think anybody in my situation would be, where it's like, your income just isn't enough to pay the bills. So that's okay. I didn't come here to like complain. I'm very happy with what's going on. Very grateful for what I do have, and I'm prepared to go back to work if that's what I have to do. But yeah, I'm just trying to get a little support. I wanted to do this too to see if I could like get some more engagement from people. Either randoms or friends or family or something that just like, I don't know, just to say hey, hop in the chat and say hey, and then also. If I wanted to ask people, if anybody pops in, what do they want to see? Is there something interesting that you like? That would you like to see part of my process or part of the tech stuff, or hear me talk about this or that? Or I mean, the thing I think I've heard most is like, Analyze was good. You should do more of that. So I will. I need to line up some guests. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to open the door for feedback and see if anybody see if anybody had any opinions. It's pretty disheartening, even right now I look over and nobody's in here, and so I'm talking to myself, and then I keep doing these streams and I'm playing for myself, and it can be really disheartening, it just kind of sucks. In one way it kind of sucks. It's still like what I want to do, like I'm gonna keep doing this until like I can't, because I have to make more money. So, but like that, knowing that that's true, kind of casts a bit of a pall on the fact that I'm not getting any viewers or much engagement from people. So it's just kind of a bummer, you know. But I'm not mad. Nothing. Nobody's done anything wrong. I'm not mad. I'm just kind of sad about it. But that's okay. It's okay to be sad about that kind of thing. It's okay to be sad about anything. Anyways, I do love all my friends and all my family and everybody who's supporting me. Thank you so much. You're the best. You're awesome people. I appreciate it. Um, now, like like a multi-level marketing scheme, go find two more people that you can talk into giving me $5 a month. Um, yeah, so that's all, I guess. I could probably ramble on for longer. Um, oh, you know what? Let me just show off a couple things that I was working on, just because I think it's neat. And if you've tuned into the stream before, or just care about music, or just curious about like what I've been up to, I can show you a couple neat things. Let me share my screen here. Do 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 do. Pow. Nope, that didn't do it. Yeah, that did it. Okay, but it looks crazy. Oh no, I actually want it under that. Is that working? Ah, okay. So you can see my monitor. I will show you what I was working on all day today. That's another reason why I'm not doing the stream tonight. I'm kind of exhausted. Because like this was pretty mentally taxing. And I did a bunch of I did a lot of this physical work ahead of time too. So I took measurements of all my pedals and the pedal boards that I have, and looked at what's on its way, got measurements for everything, and did a whole mock-up of yeah, it looks like it's displaying correctly in Discord or in OBS. That's good. So yeah, I did a mock-up of the all the pedals that I'm working with. A lot of these are already in place. Yeah, so I had a very, very different pedal setup in mind, but when I got into the nitty-gritty of like how do I want this to work, um, before I even owned a pedal, I was aware that, for some pedals you definitely want to run guitar through it, and some you definitely want to run bass through. Like there certainly are instrument-specific pedals, and for different types of pedals, they are more or less instrument dependent depending on the type and the specific pedal. So I didn't really, but I didn't know the specifics, and so I did a bunch of digging on the specifics and about buffers and about pass or true bypass versus buffered, and then also ABI switches or ABY switches, and basically figured out what I wanted and what I needed, and took a lot of information that I've been collecting over years of just like at every gig going up and looking at the people's pedals and like asking them questions and talking to other artists and paying attention to the artists, like the famous artists that I like too, just like looking at their shit. So yeah, this is what it is. I got all my routing figured out. I think there could be a mistake in here. If you see it pointed out, I'll fix it. But yeah, there's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's I drew this today and kind of put everything up together. So that was cool. And then the other thing was the other thing I was working on. Oh, I posted it to Instagram. I guess can't really share it easily, but well, yeah. Hold on. Let me put this back here. Whoops. So, if you're on my Instagram, you've seen this stuff, but just to show it off a little bit. This guy, 1984 Sakova, I think, Japanese-made guitar. When I got it, it was in really bad shape. The bridge pieces here were all corroded, and it's a weird bridge system. I don't even know if we can see it there. See how it's like little like nuts with a sort of crevice in the middle? So I haven't seen anything like that, but those were all immobile and fucked up. So soaked that in some PB Blast and got those loosened up, and that stuff was pretty easy, stuff that I'd sort of done before. But the cool part was I resoldered and redid all the internals, which is something I'd never done before. So it took some troubleshooting, but I got that all working. And that's pretty cool, I think. And that Guitar rips complete ass. It's very cool. It's very dirty. It's darker than I would expect, but I love it. And then this guy is a 1966 Hagstrom, which yeah, I learned even more about wiring doing this. I haven't had to replace the bridge or anything. It's fairly good shape. The tuning mechs on both probably need replaced, and I might do that. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk tech today, and I'm like kind of mentally exhausted and creatively exhausted. So yeah, just a studio update and saying hey and asking for support if you can. If you can spare $5 a month, or if you can spare $1,000,000 a month, that's cool too. I would donate most of it to charity, but you can still send it to me, and then I'll live off that for eternity. That's fine. Yeah, and I'm working on collaborations too. I guess I haven't talked about that at all, but like, I made a new friend. His name is Matt. He and I have been jamming together almost every week since like the first week of December. So we've been hanging out very consistently and jamming very consistently for a couple months now, and it's getting pretty tight. I'm really pleased to announce that it's probably not consistent yet, but I am doing some of the best singing I've ever done, which is awesome. I used to be in choir and stuff like that, and if you know me, you know that you may be of the opinion that that's the thing that I am best at in terms of music. And I think in certain circumstances that's true. I'm a pretty good singer. I can be, at least. But I haven't had a consistent enough practice, and with voice that's very, very important. But now that I'm meeting with Matt every week and doing some singing, yeah, things are coming together well. My throat actually hurts a little bit today. I think it was a weather change messed with me a little bit, but anyways, so Matt and I have been just like piping music through the cans, because like my whole studio is digital, so I can just put everything through our headphones. So he's a drummer. He's interested in playing synth more too, so like we're working on a setup where we can both do some more of that, hopefully. And collaborate creatively. He's brought it up before, and I kind of feel like the solo project album has enough material, and so like my creative energy can expand a little bit elsewhere. Maybe he's tuned in and listening to this, and that's the first time he's heard me say it actually, but it's just coming together as I think about it right now. But yeah, we flirted with the idea of being collaborative, but we've just been playing covers, just like, yeah, pipe the music from Spotify through the cans and then play along to it, and it's been a lot of fun. And I definitely want to continue to do that, but also, yeah, collaborate creatively. And then I haven't actually met her in person yet, but there's a girl that I've been chit-chatting with. Her name's Kira, and she's been a musician for a long time. She's developing some new skills, and she said, yeah, she asked to see my stuff. I sent her the link to the YouTube, and she took a look and was like, yeah, we should work together. I'm like, yeah, cool, come over sometime. She got her own little studio too. It looks pretty cool. I mean, it kind of looks cooler than mine. But mine is ready. She said that she just moved, I think, or she moved the studio itself. I don't remember, but she's still figuring out her situation. So I was like, yeah, just come over. We'll jam or whatever. So yeah, that's what's been going on. Lots of technical work in here. Fuck, I keep forgetting to cut up. I haven't cut up the last 2 weeks of live streams and reposted them, and it's honestly because I'm not getting any engagement, like at all, like one view and it's me, you know what I mean? And so it's really disheartening. I still love making it, and even the editing part is kind of fun, but like when there's just nobody looking at any of it, it's like I'm only doing it for myself, and it's like if nobody really cares, then that's fine. I'm not saying anybody needs to care, but it sucks. So it just kind of feels to me like, well, okay, well, I'll just work on the album in my own time, and just whatever. So obviously I'm feeling kind of bummed because I'm not getting much engagement, and it's like I know people's attentions are hard to get, and I don't know, man. I can't compete with the fucking internet. That's what sucks. Like if if I lived in an internet-free commune, people would love my shit. You know what I mean? Ugh, so dumb. Sorry for rambling today. Obviously, I'm a little mentally exhausted, and yeah, yeah. Please support me if you can, and not just me. Like I'm not more important than anybody else. And you are the most important person to support. Don't worry about me. I can just go get a job. But if you like supporting, broke ass artists and people trying to make art for a living, and you can, please do. And not just me, other people too. Um, yeah, I guess that's it. That's what we've been up to. That's what's coming up. Um, and yeah, and I'm hungry, so I'm gonna get off here. Love you guys, and tell all your friends. And I'm